Morning, everybody. Come on now. It's been a while since we've done this. Good morning, everybody. Kalimera. That's better. This is a homecoming for us. 19 years ago, the very first New Directions in the Humanities Conference was in this room, was in this space. Yes. And for 19 years, we have been thinking about what New Directions in the Humanities is through changes, societal changes, economic changes, changes in the institutions that we work within. And we're at one of those moments again. And we're at one of those moments where we're thinking particularly about what the digital means in our lives. The digital humanities is a kind of commonplace thing right now. It was used in so many different ways and contexts historically, but there has been a digitization that has happened now. There's been a push into the digital realm, which is what the kind of COVID situation has drawn us into, and it demands us to reconsider what the world is and what these institutions, these digital infrastructures that live over the things we do as social beings, as humans within the world, but also what has the ramifications of the digitization of the scholarly profession, and particularly the humanities. What does it mean for the future of what we do and how we do it? This has been a place for 19 years of critical reflection on these topics, and we are really excited to be back here again and thinking about these questions. It's a big deal coming to a conference again, a very big deal. And I think the first thing we have to do is recognize the accomplishment of everybody in this room. It's an emotional challenge. It's a physical challenge. I don't want to say health challenge because I don't want to scare. And so I think you really should pat yourselves on your back for being pioneers of a new world, of being here in person and interacting. So my first thank you goes to all of you, and you should thank yourselves. And I'm going to give you a round of applause. The second group of thank yous to those people who are on the other end of the screen right here. We have over the 3 days, we have about 100 in-person delegates, and we have the same online. So, like I've said, for the last 2 years, we're online conferences. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. And again, I want to thank you for the commitment for participating online. People thought that the transition to online life would be an easy thing. It's seamless. You do it from your bedroom, you do it from home, but it's not been. It's again been a kind of particular human challenge that we have shared and worked through. So the same way I want to thank you for being here in person, I also want to thank the people online for taking the time to participate in this event. The next group of welcome and thank you goes to our local committee, the reason why we're here. We've spent many years now thinking and talking about not just the themes, but the presenters, the keynotes, the complete experience. It takes a village, as they say. And I would particularly like to thank, from the local co-chairs, Katerina Franzi. Sorry, as a Greek, I should do better at this. Lenny Caranzola. Emmanuel Stefanakis. Getting better? Getting better. And with that group, I'm going to introduce some of them up to say a few welcome before I do my next group of thank you. So who would like to come up first? Oh, right. Sorry. Protocol. I have destroyed. Ianis. sorry. Yes, the Dean of the School of Humanities to welcome us. I'm sorry, I was looking at this group right here. I apologize.
Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, dear guests, dear participants of the 20th International Conference on New Directions in the Humanities. In my capacity as the Dean of the School of Humanities of the University of the Aegean, I would like to welcome you all to Rhodes and the buildings of our school. I am sure that the 20th conference at Rhodes, with participation of excellent plenary speakers and a full program of plenary sessions, talking circles, critical views, revisiting presentations, new ways of thinking, rethinking models, garden conversations, and engaging experiences will be a cornerstone for humanities conferences worldwide. I would like to invite you all to interact with our colleagues of the University of the Aegean with a common target to improve the humanities sciences. For those of you who are physically with us in the island of Rhodos, I could say that they have the opportunity to enjoy the medieval city and the archaeological sites of the island. You may also remember that the Department of Mediterranean Studies and the School of Humanities of the University of the Aegean are open for future collaborations in the near future. With my thanks to the organizing committees, I wish to you all a very successful and productive conference. Thank you very much.
Okay, so dear participants, dear all, on behalf of the Department of Mediterranean Studies, it is of great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the 20th International Conference on New Directions in the Humanities, 19 years after the conference was first held at the University of the Aegean on the island of Rhodes in Greece 2003. The 20th International Conference on New Directions in the Humanities will take place as a blended event in order to overcome barriers of access. Those who participate in person are especially welcomed to the historical island of Rhodes at the University of the Aegean campus, just outside the walls of the medieval town of Rhodes, which is recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Town. I wish to express our satisfaction on behalf of the local organizing committee, Eleni Karadjola, Yorgos Markopoulos, for our efficient and close collaboration with the permanent organizing committee of the conference. Thank you very much. We are very happy to have amongst us exceptional invited speakers, as well as very interesting talks on today's central issues on humanities: communication, language, culture, politics, education, and of course, this year's special focus on data, media, knowledge, the interdisciplinarity of digital humanities. The conference can be proud on the very important field of humanities and its evolution in time. After all, to quote Professor of English Literature at Lancaster University, literary theorist and critic Terry Eagleton, the humanities should constitute the core of any university worth the name. Wishing you all an enjoyable conference and a stay in Rhodes. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the local organizing committee, I would like to welcome you to Rhodes, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. We have 3 days ahead of us with full of interesting talks that I'm sure will spark fruitful discussions. So enjoy the conference.
Okay, so as has been mentioned, this is a blended conference. One of the things that we did as we saw COVID coming for us is that we didn't want to build a temporary shelter. I just have this vision in my head of all the restaurants and all the places we've seen that built a little shack that was always going to be replaced and didn't always think about what is next, what comes next, what is this investment in what the infrastructure could or should be. And so our team, went back to the drawing board, our software team, our research team, and we built this event platform, which is in the CGScholar platform itself, this event tool. And what we have tried to do is build a space that is a legacy resource, right? So everybody who's a presenter at this conference, whether in person or online, has a presenter page where we encourage you to upload digital content. It could be a file, it could be a video, it could be an audio file that accompanies your presentation. In this way, and we record everything and we capture that content, it is a legacy resource that we as a research network can always return to. It also means the other thing that we did is we made the online content asynchronous. Why did we do that? Well, time zones also becomes an exclusionary boundary, which is something that we tried to transcend. People's lives, we saw what being overwhelmed means to the 10th degree, and we wanted to make sure that people could engage and participate at a pace and at a time that would fit well with their life worlds. That's a very important thing. Right now, we have 150 pieces of digital content that has been put on presentation pages. I encourage you, if you haven't done it now, you can still put it up there. This is something that we want to build over time and make sure that you as Research Network members have access to. We have no programs, no printed programs. One is we were official delegation, Common Ground Research Networks, to COP26 this year. We have signed our own climate pact. Part of that climate pact is to not print any more programs. We're also investing in 5 or 6 social programs through the UN exchange in lieu of the investment that we put into those programs. So we're not just reducing, we are also making a commitment. I understand the irony of running academic conferences and getting you all to fly here, but we are still trying our best in the ways that we can. The other reason why we have no printed program is I want you in that application. I want you in event to comment in there, to engage. Everyone has their own presenter page. You can follow them as a peer and connect there. And we hope to build a kind of communicative ecosystem, my apologies, that runs in parallel to these face-to-face conversations. So that's a big commitment for us. The other commitment is that we are a bilingual conference. With that, I'm going to introduce our scientific director from our Spanish language. Not only are we collaborators, but we have been friends for many years. And so Dr. Jose Luis Martin Ortega. Actually, I always mix up. Did I get that the right way? No, either way. I don't know if his mother or father will be proud with that. It's one of those Freudian slips.
Well, hello, good morning. I will say these words in Spanish, if you don't mind. Bueno, pues bienvenido, como ya ha dicho nuestro compañero y querido director Philippe Calancis-Cope, al 20º Congreso Internacional sobre Nuevas Tendencias en Humanidades, que estamos celebrando en la Universidad del Egeo, aquí en esta preciosa ciudad de Rodas. Y bueno, queríamos agradecer sobre todo al comité local por el esfuerzo que están haciendo. Algunos de los miembros ya han participado esta mañana. A la universidad y en particular al decano también, que nos acompaña esta mañana por aquí, ¿no? Son 19 años, como decía el doctor Calance Scope, desde que se celebró la primera de estos congresos internacionales sobre tendencias en humanidades, aquí también en Rodas. Y bueno, pues principalmente recordar el tema destacado para esta edición, que es el de datos, medios, conocimiento, reconsiderando la interdisciplinaridad y las humanidades digitales. Esa digitalización, en nuestro caso, tiene un ejemplo muy claro con nuestra plataforma, con CGScholar, en la que, aparte de bueno, poder tener todos los beneficios que puede tener estar en esa comunidad universitaria y académica, pues tenemos muchas otras. Un placer, un honor estar en un congreso como este, en el que tenemos 200 participantes, 100 online, 100 en persona, y de diferentes países, 37 nacionalidades en particular. En nuestro caso me interesa mucho resaltar, tenemos esta mañana gente por aquí de México, de Argentina, de Perú, de Colombia, de España y de algún otro país que si se me ha pasado, os pido disculpas, pero ahora lo miraremos. Quiero aprovechar también para, que no se ha hablado todavía, para el tema de las publicaciones. O sea, tenemos un especial interés en que las publicaciones en español pues, cobren el peso que merecen, que la ciencia no solamente esté basada en el inglés, sino que nosotros podamos publicar cada vez más y tengan mayor repercusión estas publicaciones en español. Así que nada más, dar la bienvenida, desde luego. Espero verlo un poquito más adelante esta mañana en la conferencia plenaria de mi compañera y amiga Asunción, que tendré el placer de presentar. Y de nuevo, pues bienvenido a la 20ª edición de este congreso. Muchas gracias. Gracias. Thank you so much.
I would also like to bring up to the podium our Research Network Chair, Asun Lopez Valeria. She is an associate professor and deputy head of the Department of English Studies, Universidad Complutense from Madrid. We've had many years of wonderful leadership, wonderful.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much, Philip, for the presentation. I'm not going to say anything else, just welcome. I hope you enjoy it. We will be having a plenary here in Spanish later on, and which will actually deal with the topics of the conference. And thank you very much to the organizing for hosting in this wonderful city. So let's enjoy, let's have fun.
I would also like to introduce our 2023 host, Dr. Bernard Franco from the Sorbonne University in Paris.
Good morning, everybody. I would first like to say that I'm very happy to be here in Rhodes. We all know that Greece, the Greek civilization, is the origin of the humanities. Now we have the future of the humanities here in Rhodes. I discovered that Rhodes also was the beginning of the new directions of the humanities network, and we are also here in Rhodes the present of this program. So I feel a little bit ashamed to propose something a little bit less ambitious. I would first like to very warmly thank Asun and Tamsin to have proposed me that Sorbonne University organizes the next conference next year. I will present a little bit more in details the project of next year at the end of this conference on Wednesday in the closure. But I would like to say that we are all very happy to host the next conference. As you probably know, nobody understands the French university system. Nobody understands what the Sorbonne is. I remember that last year I was discussing with one of my colleagues who is older than me, and who didn't know the name of our university. So it's normal if nobody knows what Sorbonne University is. Originally, we were Paris Sorbonne University because it was the legacy of the old University of Paris, which doesn't exist anymore, and of the Sorbonne College, which was the most famous in the Middle Ages. Now there has been a fusion with, it was a University for Humanities only, and there has been a huge fusion with the strongest University of Sciences, which was called Université Pierre et Marie Curie, and we are now called Sorbonne University since 2018. So we are very old and a very new university, a little bit like here. And the conference will take place from the 28th to the 30th June next year. And the topic will be a little bit strange. It will be literary landscapes. And it's about, the subtitle was, I forgot. Literary landscapes, forms of knowledge in the humanities. So the link between landscapes and the forms of knowledge, which is specific to humanities. So I will present it. I leave a little bit suspense, and I will present it a little more in details on Wednesday after the conference. Thank you very much.
Bernard, I have to say it's a very Greek thing to say the humanities come from Greece. That's a joke, okay. So two things that are going to draw you to the end of the conference. One is the segue to 2023, and the other is the closing reception. So you all heard it here. We're going to have ideas and drinks all together. So I can see you all, you're all going to be there at the end. The final group that I really want to recognize and thank you are this year's emerging scholars. Could they stand up for 1 second, please? The Spanish and yes, let's give them a round of applause. So the emerging, thank you very much. The emerging scholar program is something that we are really proud of. We get a lot of applications every year. Every year I say, and every year it's true, that this is the best group that we've had. One thing that is important for us is to make sure that emerging voices, and emerging is an existential concept. There's not so much so everyone can be emerging to a certain degree. But what we want to do is make sure that they're in the front of the room. So you'll see them chairing the sessions. Be nice to them. And I'm sure they'll be nice to you. But that's important for us, for them to not just to have the practical formalities of running a room, but also, you know, guiding a conversation between you all here. So they're a very important part of the whole conference. I'd also like to thank our Common Ground team that has done a tremendous amount of work to get us here. Tamsin, Gilbert, Tatiana Portnova, and Tamara, who's outside there. We'll give them a round of applause. They can hear us. So before I leave you, I'm going to give you a few logistical issues so that you can make your way through everything. Unfortunately, today's plenary in the afternoon has been cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. In your rooms, all the equipment's in the room, so you don't have to worry. Sorry, there is a screen and a projector with an HDMI link. Please bring your computer to the room. That's important. The conference dinner on the 21st, we have a couple of spots left. So if you haven't signed up, I really encourage you to sign up for that. Closing reception, I told you about. You all promised me you're going to be there, which is great. And lunch will be outside. Because I forgot.
I'm at my conference.
My name is.
I'm at my conference.
I'm the Chief Social Scientist of Common Ground Research Networks. I hope you have a great 3 days. Thank you.